Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Welcome to practice. Welcome to practice. Happy Thursday. If you are watching live, if you are not, happy whatever day it is that you are with us. Practice tonight. I'm really excited about practice tonight as we carry on with our weekly schedule. We are going to do some more guided imagery tonight. So I've really been loving this core practice for its versatility, for all of the ways that we can use guided imagery. So tonight is actually going to be a little bit of a different flavor than what we typically do. With our guided imagery for the live practices, we tend to keep them very, very generalized, right? And this one is going to generalize well too. Um, but it was, as I was thinking about what to prepare and this specific practice we'll do tonight, what I had in mind for it was a little bit more specific. So you guys probably heard me talk about a podcast that I listened to recently called the Heal Podcast with Kelly. I'm really getting into all of that content, loving to hear the stories and the guests. And a couple weeks ago, I listened to one I think I shared with you all where Dr. Deming was on, and she is known as the conscious oncologist. So she deals a lot, has dealt a lot, continues to deal a lot. I shouldn't say deal with, work with, right? Support cancer patients. So deal with cancer, but support and work with cancer patients. And so that's where the inspiration for tonight's guided imagery came from. And what we're really going to focus on, and the images we're going to use tonight are focused on clearing. So we're going to use images of gardens and things of that nature and pulling the weeds, right? We're going to pull some weeds tonight. And that for us is going to signify and look like clearing out whatever it is that doesn't serve you, right? So this imagery can work really well for anyone that might have cancer, because cancer is known for, it's a lot of extra cells happening, right? And so this imagery of plucking the weeds can really serve that. But truly, anything that you are trying to clear or release, right? So an illness, a disease, pain, headaches, endometriosis, PCOS, right? Whatever it is, right? Maybe you're trying to get over a cold, right? This imagery and this clearing sort of imagery can be helpful. And I want to step into a little bit, just a reminder about why imagining plucking weeds from a garden can be helpful in the healing process, right? And I'm going to lean on one of our old favorites. I come back to this one often. I promise I'm going to get back into the research and pull some new and fresh references. But tonight I'm going to stick with an oldie but a goodie, the placebo effect, right? What is that? The placebo effect says that if I take an inert substance, in most cases, right? Because it's typically controlled for in things like drug trials and what have you. But if I take an inert substance that has no mechanistic properties for making any sort of change in my body, right? A water pill, something of that nature, right? And certainly not anything built to treat that which I'm trying to heal. If I take that substance, that injection, whatever it might look like, I may still see results, right? I may still experience healing. And the only way that is possible, the only mechanism by which that works, because there's nothing built into what was taken, the only way that works is through belief. I believe this happened. I believe it can happen. And that belief and those thoughts, as we've said so many times here on the channel, our thoughts impact our physiology. Our thoughts impact our physiology, right? And so and it's so well known, you guys. Every clinical trial worth its salt controls for the placebo effect, right? I give you a treatment and I give this group no treatment, but I have to give them something, right? So that they don't know whether they're in the treatment group or not, right? And without that knowing, the placebo effect comes in, and we have to control for that to know if what I gave you actually works, right? Because it turns out that humans have this innate ability within them to find healing. Okay, so I hope that excites you. I hope that pumps you up. I want to give you a small illustration, right? So you can say, yeah, Sarah, we get it. They do this in all of the clinical trials. They do it in all the drug trials, all those good things. That's all well and fine, but it's never going to work for me. And that everyone is different, and what you believe matters and what you think matters, right? So everyone is different. And I want to do a little exercise with you. I saw this recently on another post. I might have shared it in a recent video too, but we're going to do it this time. So go ahead and get comfy. We're just going to do a short illustration guided imagery first, right? Okay. And then we'll dive into our healing guided imagery. So I want you just to get comfortable. Don't worry about settling in too much, but as you're comfortable, close your eyes. And, just take a couple of breaths. And I want you to bring to your mind's eye, right? As you look through your mind's eye and start to imagine things, I want you to imagine yourself standing in a kitchen right before a counter. And there on the counter is a fruit basket. And in the fruit basket is a lemon. And you reach into the fruit basket and you take out the lemon. You hold it in your hands. You can feel what the lemon feels like. You can see its bright yellow color. If you hold it up to your nose, you can smell lemon scent. And then there on the counter is a cutting board and a knife. And I want you to set the lemon onto the cutting board, and I want you to cut that lemon right in half. And already your senses start to pick up lemon scent, lemon sour. The juices start to drip onto the cutting board. And I want you to take 1/2 of the lemon, and I want you to squeeze the juice of the lemon into your mouth. And I want you to notice what your body is doing right now with this imagery. Even mine saying it. My lips are puckering, more saliva is flowing. I have that sort of tight tension of super sour, right along the jaw. I'm sure it has an actual name, so I'm sorry I'm not naming it, but that super tight tension that you feel right along, either in the back of your mouth or right for me, like it's right now, right sort of underneath my tongue up here, right? And without a lemon in sight out here in the world, by imagining that experience, your body reacts. Your body reacts as if it was experiencing that right here, right now. So I just want you to become aware of how powerful our thoughts are, right? How our thoughts truly influence our physiology. What I think makes a difference to what's happening in my body. My jaw is a little still like sour, I don't know if you guys have these where we have them, but we have the name isn't very nice actually, so I won't say it, but it's a super, super, super sour candy. And we would like dare each other as children to eat these candies. And just the puckering, I can feel it, right? So same thing with the lemon. So just noticing and becoming aware and realizing that your thoughts have this power. And you, by being intentional with your thoughts, for example, through these practices of guided imagery, can influence what's happening in your body. So, without further ado, let us settle in. Let us settle in. I will stay seated as usual. You are invited to take whatever position you would like. This is a great one for sitting up, for laying down, however you want to do it. And just like last time, I really am going to invite you to enter the practice in ease, right? And to go through the practice in ease. There's a lot of practices, mindfulness comes to mind in particular, a lot of flavors of that really focus on the discipline, right? Moving past our urges, just becoming aware and letting them pass, right? To move past the need to scratch an itch, to move past the need to shift how we're sitting, right? And those types of practices can teach us so much. And I'm sure we'll be doing some of those soon. But for tonight, I want you to lean in instead to ease and grace. If you get comfortable in a position and 5 minutes into the practice, you decide, I need to shift a little bit. This isn't quite as comfortable as I wanted it to be. Move. If you think, I'm really thirsty, I need to get up and get a drink, or I need to scratch that itch, or I need to go use the restroom, allow yourself to do these things. And this is important, right? This actually, I want to take this as a big part of practice tonight, because a lot of times when we're on healing journeys, right, especially if we've been on that healing journey for a very long time, it can become challenging for us to speak up for or act on our needs, right? We've been told so many times that we need to move on or get over it, or can't we just go, or all of these things. And so we get small and we get quiet and we no longer ask for what we really need, because the rest of the world says, I don't know why you need that, right? We're fine over here. We're having a good old time, right? But we have needs. We have needs. And so tonight, as you go through this practice, go through practice in ease, go through practice in grace, and go through practice meeting your needs, okay? Whatever those are. So, settling in, find a comfortable position. Put your feet flat on the ground if you're sitting. If you're laying down, just get comfortable. I guess if you're on a cushion, your feet might be tucked up underneath you. Whatever's comfortable, hands resting gently. Maybe in your lap, maybe at your side, maybe up over your belly. Closing your eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just taking a few breaths. Just breathing in and out. Attending to your breath without judgment. Not trying to change anything or do anything. Just being aware of your experience of breathing. As you breathe, just staying with the breath. Moving your awareness to the contact points of all the surfaces beneath you. Just noticing those surfaces, the ground beneath you, the cushion, the seat or back of a chair. Whatever it is, just noticing. Notice the temperature and the texture. And take a beat to sink into that surface a little more. Let it support you. Let it hold you. Let it take the burden. And now, bring your awareness to your mind's eye as your physical eyes stay closed. and your mind's eye opens, you see yourself standing at the edge of a garden. And you take in the scene. Maybe this is a garden you know. Maybe this is a garden you love. Maybe it's your garden. Fruits, vegetables, flowers. Notice what you see there. The blue sky overhead and the bright sun is warm and inviting, but not too hot. There's a slight cool breeze. Just noticing again the garden. If there are fruits, what fruits are growing? If there's vegetables, what are they? And if there's flowers, what do you see? Name the colors. Name the textures. And coming around to the entrance of the garden, you come into the garden and you're able to get closer to those fruits or vegetables or flowers. And with all of your senses, you experience these things. Reaching out, you take one and you notice the feel of it in your hand and the smell of it. Perhaps you take a taste, just savoring this moment, these beautiful growing things. And as you sit with the flowers or the vegetables or the fruits, you feel more and more connected, more and more as one with these things. And as you sit with them, you realize that actually these are parts of you, connected to you, growing and healthy and beautiful. And now you look around, and without judgment, you notice some weeds growing in the garden, weeds getting in the way of the fruits and the flowers and the vegetables of growing and being their healthiest and best selves. You notice the weeds, and you realize that it's time to clear them out. So without judgment and with ease, you bend down in whatever position is comfortable for you, and you begin to pick the weeds. You might choose to throw the weeds over the fence or out the perimeter of the garden. You might choose to put them all in the bucket that's there beside you. You may feel like just heaping them up into one giant heap and then taking them out of the garden at the end. Whatever you choose to do with the weeds, you simply continue to pick them from your garden. And as you pick them, you realize that these are the parts of you that no longer serve you. What does that mean for you? These weeds may be illness, disease, headaches, cancer. They may simply be stress. And as you pluck them from the ground, with each one, you recognize the clearing of the ground around the fruits and vegetables and flowers. In most cases, the weeds come out very easily. Maybe all of them come out easily. Are there any that you need to spend more time with to remove completely? You notice there's tools in the garden. You may need a shovel or a rake. Use whatever you need to clear the garden of the weeds. And with each one you remove, you notice that you are creating more and more space, more and more healthy, clear area for all of the beautiful flowers and fruits and vegetables to grow. That which is meant for you, that which is connected to you, to grow and thrive and be healthy. Simply clearing away that which is not needed. Just clearing away the weeds. And as you continue to work, you clear more and more, and slowly but surely, you end up clearing all the weeds from your garden. You know that whenever something arises and you feel the need for clearing, to remove that which no longer serves you, you can always come to this garden and clear the weeds. Clear them out. And now, if the weeds are piled somewhere in the garden, simply taking them by the basketful or the armload, you get every last one, and you remove it outside the boundary of your garden. You may do what you choose with these weeds. You may simply leave them knowing that they won't regrow in the garden, the ones that you've already picked. You may choose to release them with a fire. You may choose to wash them away with water. Whatever it is that you need to clear the weeds. And now, ending your practice of clearing the weeds, you simply gaze at the garden and are aware of the beautiful work that you've completed. The garden is clear. The fruits and the flowers and the vegetables are healthy and thriving and growing. We'll take 3 deep breaths here in this awareness, breathing in and out. Breathing in the clarity and the healing. Breathing out that which is not needed. Breathing in and out. And as we come to the close of practice, we'll end with some gratitude. Repeat after me. I am grateful for this moment. I am grateful for this breath. I am grateful that I showed up to practice today. And now slowly coming back into the room where we started, wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes, taking small movements, bringing a slight smile to your face, stretching if you need to stretch, give yourself a hug. All of the things. So friends, I would love to know, how was that for you all? Feel free to put it in the chat. Or share with me on the Facebook group or through the email, through the website. I would love to know. This practice is a little bit different than we normally do. So I would love to know what you think. Did you find it helpful? Would you like to see more of that? Or if there's something special you have in mind, let me know. And I'd love to design a practice for you. So thank you all so much for showing up tonight. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for showing up to do this practice. I am so grateful for all of you. And with that, we're going to continue to practice every week. So I hope to see you all back here next week at 8 o'clock. Bye, everyone.